Would you follow the player you collected or your most known collecting? Would you follow that person around as they try to go like buy a card for somebody else in a specific group? Correct. Neither would we.
Is that a thing?
It
It is a thing.
is.
Oh.
It's a little creepy.
Slightly. Going on YouTube world. Michael, Steve, Dave, IRP 287.
Baz?
One of our several national recaps as we try to get people on here. I did send the link to Brad and Edward. So Edward, if I see you
Intuition.
Yes. Yes.
see Edward in the chat, not going to be acceptable. He has the link. So
I watched all his videos.
yeah, we'll talk about what we saw because again,
Very damn little. And I'm fucking unemployed. Like, I have no excuse.
and me, I watched way too much of it because I watched people I don't think I've ever watched before, and several videos of it. So
Well, that really long one, Dave. Like, I think I'm 15 minutes into it. And you're right. It's like it's painful to watch in the aspect of the nomenclature is non-existent.
It's
but
tough.
but you're right. Like it's one of those in which it does show quite a bit. And then there's this guy. I don't know. You paying for us to go, Rick? You know, we ain't got that sponsorship money like, you know, you and Mangini do.
Yeah, we're not punching drywall and getting like sheetrock money, so but yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of footage, and that's not even the shocking part of it all. I guess you'd say, okay, you don't have my best friend there. He wasn't there. So there's not like 8 million baseball collector videos.
Oh, did he not go this year? Oh, guess I was unaware.
The Chris from Missouri, he didn't go. So, and again, these are ones I will always openly admit that I watch because of the national. It's something I always like to see because
multiple perspectives.
There's always, if you're scanning the cases and you're actually doing a fairly decent job, I will watch no matter who it is. Even if Joe were to do that. Michael Hamm, I haven't watched a lot of his stuff. He did a lot of videos like scanning cases.
Did he?
And that was stuff where like I was finding like Brett Favre stuff. There was stuff where Brad had talked about stuff like through messages like saying, "Hey, thought I saw JJ Super and it wasn't. It was Jose Fernandez."
Oh.
And then like as that Michael Hamm is scanning this particular piece, I'm like, there it is. There's the Jose Super. So and then showing stuff to Brad too, but then like, oh, there's a Pippin. I don't even remember what Pippin it was that I showed him. And then it was like, oh, Omaha Sports has this. And then in like the next case, that's where Omaha Sports has the Dan Marino tools of the trade that he picked up. Well, you already saw that, but damn it.
Whatever pays the bills, fellas. Like, hey, there's no shame in that.
Human money. That's what we want. Human money.
We know y'all are getting old. Like, it's okay.
AARP.
At some point we will be there too. So, like, hey, all is good, man. All is good. I will have to admit, though, again, being unemployed.
I think I peek back there, and man, there's like 4 people. Now there's like 7. If I keep fucking this up here, it's gonna be like a pro set redemption line pretty quick. Like 15 people are sitting behind. But yeah, watching like the recaps. I'm gonna try to push.
Good question. Since you've obviously watched more than I have, if I'm being honest, what I have seen to this point, I don't think it was as packed as what it has been in years past. At least from what it seemed like. Now, in all honesty, it would all be dependent on when the videos were being recorded. If it was the first part of getting in, where only the VIPs are there and the like mask crowd isn't there, but even the videos at Ryan's booth.
Yeah, it wasn't like 3D and people like struggling to look. You couldn't even again. If you find like the value boxes, we always like a Greenie, a Gemini, Big Boy, stuff that we've known forever. Those are always gonna be tough to get to when you're midday, early afternoon. But it didn't seem like the frenzy of like the past couple years.
It just, yeah. And I'm not saying that it wasn't packed, because I'm sure it was. You saw the fucking line to get in the one day. So there was a shit ton of people there. But, again, a lot of it I'm sure is timing. But to me, like a really good gauge is looking at what's posted from Ryan and Neil. And yes, they stayed busy. Like you could see it. They constantly had people at every corner of their booth looking at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking more past like the individuals looking at the cases. I'm looking at the people walking behind. And yes, again, there was a lot of people. I'm not saying that there wasn't. But a part of me, and again, I haven't watched as much as what others probably have. I feel like 23, we were crammed in like sardines. And I didn't get any of that, at least from the little bit that I've seen to this point.
But didn't they also open up a lot more of this venue this time? Like it was everywhere?
That is an accurate statement.
Yeah, so the people can spread out more.
Well, because like the biggest complaint, what was it? Was it last year? The upstairs was like too compact. Like there wasn't any room to get between the dealers.
Yeah.
And like I know that they fixed that.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's a couple people that had videos where it was like, okay, when you had, and again, this is a guy I had never watched. I want to say he's been on with Carlos, that Neo. He had a lot of good like walkthrough type stuff too, looking at cases, just sort of rambling on, which again I do enjoy, just so you can see like the lay of the land, as so many people have now coined that term and brought it into their videos. He was upstairs. He's like, well, yeah, they're supposed to spread everything out, and I mean, he was standing at the end of an aisle there, and there was basically the same amount of room. I mean, you could probably get. I'm looking on this end or side, that somebody's on that side. you still couldn't get somebody going down if you had like somebody looking on that side with the backpack on the back, somebody with the backpack on the back here. You're still going to be fairly tight in there. And then he turned to the side and he's like, man, you look at the end of the aisle, there's still about 30 feet out that was open. It's like, well, why are we not utilizing this space at some point? Because there's just a ton of dead space there. Either pull them out a little more or put maybe some of those tables there, so you just have sort of an end against the wall or whatever was over there. It's like, again, these people, you think you've set up there how many years at the Rose Bar? At what point there can't be an excuse for like setting up of the dealings in a way that gets you the traffic going, flowing. You're not constantly stopping because a person in my carriage has a backpack on that looks like my gut on my back. So you got the wideness there. It's like you how do you not figure this out? You know, a vast majority of collectors, if we have to get in there by our weight, we're stopping at a truck stop to get weighed first. This isn't like dainty waifs and ballerinas and ballet folks and
For yourself, Dave.
people. The hobby's got some heavies in it. So
Rick, John, please feel free to chime in here because we know you went up. We know at least one of you walked the entire show floor. We know Brad did. We know Ed did. Like, we know that you guys walked the entire floor. Most of all the people that we know or have interacted with in the past or whatever typically are all either early access or VIP. So, you kind of get the stinking peek. So you get an opportunity to not truly be crammed in like sardines. But, well, and John, that's typically a given though too, unless you're really looking for stuff that's specific, you kind of walk and kind of glance at a case and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this may be interesting. And then you kind of walk over type thing. Well, at least that's what I did, but interesting. Which it doesn't surprise me. Again, seeing that line was like, holy cow. Now, and I knew it was the same way last year. If memory serves me right, there was a video about the big ass freaking line to get in. See, they expanded the upstairs space, which is what I was under the impression. So, and again, it could be perspective. However the video was shot, like, again, I swore that was one of the big things that other individuals had mentioned, that was kind of like the big draw, is they were using more space, but they were also increasing some of the foot traffic space in the upstairs because they actually were even bringing in more fucking vendors than what they did the year before. Because this is like, it's almost like a license to print money for the show promoters, right? Okay. So then that makes a little sense.
That's good. Stick that stuff off in an area, and if people want to visit it, they can visit it. But to put it right in the middle of everything is just a hassle.
And that's what clogs shit up, because you get people that are fucking...
yeah.
It's a car crash. You're looking at a car crash. You get people there. You get screaming. You get the dumbness, and then so people like us, like, what the fuck is going on over there? What? So who needs to
Right.
get shut up?
Hello,
But
Scott.
that's what
Orlando,
it-
good to see you.
yeah.
See, so John's got his opinion. It's better organized than, this year compared to previous. But, well, and Orlando, let's be real. Like with the way that the hobby space is right now, there's not even an adjective really that you can give to it because it's ever changing. And I'm not just talking about from a growth perspective, although, we've seen tremendous growth. But you look at all the individuals that are even coming into the space from a dealer perspective, though, too. Like, again, these show promoters, it's a license to print money for them because it's not cheap to set up there at all. And the more people that they can sell space to, they're going to do it. But they have to consider comfortability for the masses. Because if they don't, they are going to run the risk of, I won't say losing money, because that's not going to happen. But it's not going to, there's not going to be as many people, I feel, that are willing to put up with feeling like you're literally in a can of sardines. So I also have to ask, how the AC hold up? Because I know it was a little bit cooler than 23, which I know makes a world of difference when it's, 100 degrees outside and you've got thousands of people crammed into a space. I'm assuming that the air conditioning held up this go round.
Because somebody said too, it wasn't like,
well, that's true too.
Ultra cool, but it wasn't. It was just maybe above like a comfortability. It was okay, but
yeah, Orlando, I don't think they'll ever fix the Wi-Fi issue at that fucking place.
No.
It's just. Oh, look at Rick. Rick's. It was cold. Okay. Well, yeah. What? So, I happen to see this. Walmart is now set up at the National.
Weren't they there when we were there? I swear they had.
I don't remember, Dave. I don't remember.
Yeah, that Pulse or whatever, that was like the cards for Big League Chew. You gotta imagine, like, Panini, their booth was sad times at Ridgemont High because they didn't. You go from having a bunch of shit to now you got a bunch of unlicensed shit.
Yeah.
Turning back the clock.
Yeah, it's just, and again, like John mentioned, all the new companies, and I don't think that's going to change until some go belly up and the number starts to drop. All people are seeing right now is endless money possibility. So they're jumping into the space, whether it be a dealer, whether it be hard supplies, whether it be repacks, whether it be partnerships with Dick Nose, and Twat Waffle and all this other kind of stuff that, like, it's crazy. It's just absolutely freaking nuts. And until more and more of them just kind of go away, I think we're going to still continue to see new companies popping up, new collaborations, I mean, what somebody ended up like Hamilton, the freaking Indy driver. He's got a freaking card shop now. Like, I don't get it. Wait a minute. I get it. But, you've got Tom Brady and all his locations. There's now Waxed here in Texas, which is a conglomerate of multiple shop owners. And they're opening up shops all over the place. I know, Dave, I have yet to go to the one right up the road. That is on the agenda. So I will eventually go and I will give you a kind of a review, so to speak. But
Make some content.
I don't know. They may be too big to allow for any recordings to go on, and I'm a peon in the space, so it ain't gonna help their brand.
Tell me, you're a 16-year veteran of YouTube.
Yeah. Who are you? You have how many subs? You have how many sponsors? Oh yeah, we don't need nothing.
I haven't counted how many subs I've eaten. It looks like I've eaten a lot.
Right. And exactly the case, John. Like the hobby of old is gone for all of us. Prices are, I won't say prices are going to continue to increase in certain aspects. I think it's going to be the case. But, there's too much money to be made and there's too much money in the hobby right now. So had corporate in the bathrooms. Well, were they handing out reach arounds or hand jobs? Asking for more business? Sorry.
Those were the taint ticklers.
Well, yeah, that's a good. I mean, that's a good analogy, John. For real. It's crazy to think. Buy something for $1,000, and usually in a matter of weeks, you sell it for $1,500, $1,600. Because guess what? Everything is worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. And if it's something that's super rare, extremely low numbered, it's a license to print money when you think about it. Of course, my opinion, but.
Well, that, and we've talked about it numerous times over the years. This shit's been going on. You don't have folks like us collecting anymore. The last 5 years you show me. I won't even go 100. I won't go 50. Show me 25 collectors in the last 5 to 6 years since COVID that are completionist collectors. Guys like us that want to that, and again,
I don't even consider myself one anymore.
I never was.
I'm stupid because I'm. I don't really want a completionist. I want full print runs of specific cards, but it's not like you can sit there. Go, let's say you print off the Beckett checklist of Mahomes, the Beckett checklist of even like Trevor Lawrence or somebody like that, where there's 8 trillion cards.
Right.
You don't have the ability to even begin to think about trying to put that shit together. there wasn't even like a thought process like, okay, if I'm getting a kaboom, even if I take out the green, the 101, if I want the regular and the gold 10, how much is that going to cost now?
Right.
And that's
I
just
think,
two cards.
I think that's too low, Rick. I think that's too low.
Yeah, I am between the 90 and 93% we're not. Just because you don't have the ability now to pick up as much as you would like to because of prices. Looking at a lot of those prices, I'm like, that's ridiculous. How is that card?
Yeah. Well, and another thing that makes it really difficult is you can't even go the route of trying to hit a lottery ticket and buying a box to try to hit one of the big crazy cards because you have to spend $500 plus on said box, and it's just not possible to do anymore.
Yep. Well, yeah, the buck definitely does not go near as far as what it once did. And Rick, so I'm going to provide at least a little bit of additional context as to why I think your number's too low. Case in point, you shot a video of the VIP section at the National. All the people sitting down with their cards on the fucking tables. Basically, another card show. Call it trade day, call it trade night, whatever you will. But in fact, another card show, unsanctioned for that matter. Those people are setting up to move shit, to sell stuff. It's not to put that money into their Joe Blow collection.
No.
They're literally, it's like, hey, how much meat on the bone do I have? How much fucking money can I make on this? And then you, like, I saw somebody posted something, like somebody had at their table cash only. I get it, cash is king and stuff like this, but you're gonna put a sign at the National at your booth for cash only? Really? I mean, Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, that's technically cash.
Correct. But maybe it's a situation where they don't have cell service.
They're just hedging their bet, being like, no, we've done this before. We've had some of these issues where people are like, I need to find somewhere, the hotspot or whatever, to try to actually send stuff, because we've heard that in the past where deals have been left on the table
because you couldn't get an electronic payment through.
Yeah, you're sitting there and you're like,
so
can you hear me now? Fuck, let's go.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to. I don't feel comfortable walking around with a lot of cash, so that wouldn't be a booth where I could spend money. But I get why maybe they only want to deal with cash, because it's a headache trying to get confirmation something come through.
Oh, I get it. Like, in all fairness, I understand. All I'm saying is you run the risk of
pushing business.
Limiting.
It's definitely a big thing what John's saying there, where they don't want to pay taxes on said cash. 100%.
Well, of course. I mean, look, hey, I've been selling shit on eBay. I've been watching. Okay, I've had X number in gross sales. I'm already over the 200 transactions. I got to be watching that, because I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be paying taxes.
You're already going to get a 1099.
Yes, but I don't have to pay taxes on it.
Why is that?
It's 200 transactions and $20,000. It's back. Yes, it is. It is back to that. Oh, yes, it is. I did the research. No,
well, that's good.
It reverted back.
I knew it had gone to it, but I thought they had rolled it back to 5K.
No, unless unless something else has changed, I have not seen any additional changes because they would be sending something.
Yeah, I really did think I really thought it had gone back to 5K and it wasn't. It didn't matter how many transactions.
Well, I'll be honest, I still have stuff stashed back in the event that I have to pay taxes. I'm still that kind of guy. But in all fairness, if there's opportunities to where you don't, then that's the path I'm going to take.
Yeah, for sure.
But from a dealer perspective, if that's my business, that's my job, why would you not want to do it legit? Me selling shit on eBay is not my job.
Yeah.
It's not my profession. It's not my career.
It's a hobby.
Correct. Side hustle, whatever term you want to use. But, it's if you're in it as a business, why hello? Do the shit right.
I'm not smart enough to do it for a business. I just sell shit so I can buy other shit.
Yeah. Correct.
I'm not making any headway on life. I'm just getting cooler things.
Well, but that's again, you're not trying to do this for a business either.
I couldn't. I don't have the mind for it. I don't have the discipline for it. Because
you could if you knew you could be successful and do better than what you do now, you would find a way to do it. Because let's face it, you're a dude. That's how men work. That's how we think.
No, for sure. But man, I would have a really hard time buying people's shit that I don't like. Even if I could make money on it, I just wouldn't want to deal with it.
I get it.
And then I would have to, somebody coming in wanting to buy said shit that I don't like. It would be hard for me. I'd say, why?
Why do you want this?
What? Yeah. Oh. Huh?
Or just dealing with stupid offers and listening to dumb people, and then, well, it's showing me this one sold. I don't care. There's a sticker on the card.
Well, and that was, I think, the big takeaway from National, from what I've seen, was it doesn't matter if you are going to want to buy the quality stuff, you're going to have to pay up on it. Some of it reasonable, a lot of it definitely not reasonable. Just by this year is the most pictures that people have sent me of stuff they found that they think I'll like. The stuff I wanted was there. I'm thankful that most of it was so overpriced that I didn't even have to think about it. And the stuff that I was able to get, I'm pumped as hell, because I think that there was a couple hidden gems amongst all those super overly priced cards that I just got lucky.
100%. So I have a question for John and Rick, and I don't think you're going to be able to answer it because y'all stick more to the vintage side of the house. And no, that is not a dig. I'm not. Orlando was here too, but I doubt again that you vintage guys will be able to answer this. We need a Brad, an Ed, Scott, if you're still here, because I know you look at some of the stuff though too. Out of curiosity, and Rick, John, feel free to, and Orlando, feel free to pipe in if you happen to notice this though too. Am I crazy to think that it seems that there are more and more, and I'm going to call them sellers, I'm not going to call them dealers, are really starting to kind of set their pricing based on what they think stuff is going to be worth in the future? And there's a reason why I ask, because from a Magic the Gathering space perspective, something that I've noticed is that you have individuals that when a new set is released, which of course is when it's at the hype of pricing, right? It's the same thing with sports. When a product releases, people pay more for some of the higher valued rookies and stars and like that's just the way it's always been. But something with like Magic specific, I can't speak of any other TCG, but there are quite a few people out there that refuse to pay like pre-sale or early on pricing. Fine, I get it. I understand. But why are you offering stuff to people? Hey, I'll give you X because this is where I think it's going to end up, and think that somebody's going to sell it to you. If the card is $50 and you think it's going to land at 15, what makes you think I'm going to sell it to you for $15 when I know I can get 50? Help me understand the logic in that. So the question is that also kind of starting to be a thing in the card space? Again, maybe more from the modern, ultra modern perspective, just because, I mean, Ohtani's still freaking on fire. Let's be real. You got LeBron taking his talents now somewhere else, which nobody gives a shit. The man just needs to retire. And again, I'm just curious.
The Ohtani stuff is very worrying to me, watching it from the outside, because he's not having a good year.
Well, I think people are banking on future value. For him, that makes sense, because if he even maintains where he's currently at, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, I would say he already is.
Yeah,
100%. But I'm just saying, like, it's first ballot Hall of Famer. When's the next time we're going to see somebody like him from a pitching and hitting? Like, there's so many things about him that I think even if you spent $500,000 on an Ohtani card right now, I would be hard pressed to think that you would lose money down the road. Now,
but what people aren't doing, they're not thinking 10 years, 15 years down the road anymore. There's how much of that is actually being thought of in the hobby in this day and age, other than people like a Rick, a Mangini, Scott, Brad, Ed, all the guys that we've known for ever, or we know of over the last few years, 5 to 10 years, that are collectors. That's your there's a futures market, but the futures market isn't like we're going a kid that's 18 somehow that has like the Halliburton of money isn't gonna buy, again, let's say like a orange sapphire Ohtani, whatever, PSA 9 for a chunk of change. They're not thinking in 2040.
oh, correct.
There's no the down the road is like
It's the flip, and I get that too.
What's the next show? What we're okay? This is national. We just were off Fanatics. If we're going to Dallas, ship Shawana. So where you're going somewhere else? How much can I make in that? They're down the road. Is if it's more than a month, I'm stunned. Legitimately stunned.
Well, and again, that's what I'm kind of alluding to from a selling perspective. The selling mentality is, I buy this for X. What can I sell it for 5 minutes from now? An hour, a day, a week. You're right. Like, I could see the cap being at like a month or two. Because everybody wants their shit to be liquid. They want it constantly moving, constantly changing. And again, that's great and wonderful. But, in all honesty, everybody should be kind of thinking about the get rich slow methodology. Like, buy something for $1,000. Again, if you're looking to get rich in this space, which we all know it's possible, a few big transactions can really change the trajectory of an individual in this space. It doesn't take much. It takes work, but it doesn't take much. But if you buy something for $1,000 today, and it's of a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, somebody of that caliber, the chances are by the time like you retire or the time you did, it's going to have increased in value. The high probability it will increase in value. Let's go that route because nothing's guaranteed. Because shit, for all we know, freaking next year, 2027, yeah, the National's right around the corner. Oh, wait. There's nobody in the space anymore because the shit freaking crashed hardcore. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen, but, a nice little downward trajectory would be nice for some of us. You're on mute, Michael.
I see that. I said, yeah, I needed to not do that until I sell my stuff.
Well, I think
someday I'm gonna sell it.
Well, and you have a tendency to move on from certain things because it's like you get tired of certain things, but at the same time, you still have an appreciation for some of the stuff that you still buy.
Yeah.
The only difference is you went from this to like this, where like you're playing in this little smaller space here,
for sure,
because of the amount of money that you're spending on some of these bigger cards.
Mm-hmm.
But again, because of who they are, the chances again of them decreasing in value in a couple years is minimal.
Yeah.
Well, not even the stuff you're selling, it's not going to decrease. In the same sense, too, it's like I really don't want to move it. But if this becomes available here, and I know I need to move something, if I've got to move something, that's got to be it for that. So it's not like you're taking a chance on something that's going to like completely crater. You're still taking a chance. You're getting something out of that time frame that we all love, that late 90s to like maybe 2010 at the latest type of card where you're like, fuck, that's the stuff that I really like, and I can be persuaded off of this, like maybe an impeccable something, to that something else, some other like an NT something to like 4 or whatever it is. It's like I don't, but I because again, at some point too, the hobby money is just it. You don't want to just be spending like $1,000, $1,500, $3,000, whatever. A lot of times you can't. We're not
Right.
These kids bankrolled by mom and dad, and somehow get the starter collections where, hey, now you got a ton of money to go out there. We can make a lot of content and start making a channel. It's like we have bills to pay. We are adults.
Yep.
So what you do, it's like I've always said it. It's like it's something. Unless Josh Johnson won the presidency or something, like I'm sitting on a good chunk of kindling. So
everything has a value, Dave. Everything.
And even if he did do that, your mindset wouldn't be selling. Your mindset would be, oh, this is going to bring out the stuff I've always been looking for. Is going to pop up now.
Right.
I'm going to buy more.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
yes,
And I'm leaving the comment for just letting that marinate for people. Like 20 grand. 20 grand. Kid walking around with 20 grand in cash is fucking just. I'm sure to an extent, most of us here, although again, working adults, I'm sure a lot of us could probably do that. Wouldn't be a good idea in most cases. But I'm sure a lot of us could do the same thing. But why? Like, I'd be scared to be traveling on a plane with that kind of cash. Because aren't you supposed to, like, declare a certain amount of money when you're flying? If you have more than X amount of money?
Yeah, I think
Is
you
that a
have
thing?
to. I think you have to declare. Is it anything over 10?
That's what I was thinking.
I think you have to declare anything over 10 in cash.
Oh, well, then that changes the dynamic if they're locals. But even then, like, how would anybody? Well, some of these dealers do. I mean, you look at Ryan and Neil. I mean, they've got the big ass fucking safe. So, like, who knows how much cash they have, but they're not walking around with it either. It's locked in a safe.
And there are multiple dealers there like that.
Oh, and I'm sure. Like, I never seen something like that before. And you walk over to Ryan's booth, and it's damn thing is 7 foot tall, and but I mean, it's smart, it's wise, because especially nowadays, we look back just a few years back, stuff was still crazy. People still freaking carrying around shit tons of money. And all it takes is these fucking major criminals. Oh, the National? It's in Chicago? Call the gang up, man. Let's go freaking start looking to knock some people off.
Hence why they're not going back to Atlantic City.
100%.
Yeah. I don't know that Detroit's going to be safer.
well,
I don't think, like, truth be told, the son of a bitch could be held in a fucking gated section of any city where it's got armed cops and armed security throughout, and you're still gonna have to deal with stupid people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, theft will still occur.
So, and like, I know. Does anybody have the numbers for the number of arrests? I know Ed's not here, but I know he was betting on the over for the number of arrests. And I think I only saw one video of what looked to be a potential arrest situation. But I know that there was one video that a ton of people were posting about a father and a son stealing like a 10 or 15K card. Which that just
that's
atrocious.
It was very deliberate, and it was very ugly.
Yeah, I just. Well, Scott, truth be told, I have a feeling people probably have. It's just, I don't think it's going to be well known. People are going to kind of keep it in a small sort of grouping of conversations. But it's still that's an embarrassing situation for certain people. Like, I should have been more careful. I knew that I shouldn't have done this, and the whole shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and then they get embarrassed, and they don't want to be the ones to be known as, oh, well, I'm the dumbass who got held up and freaking robbed or whatever. But I think a lot of that information stays kind of behind closed doors and small groupings of people. The theft at the show, different story, because everybody nowadays has cameras set up and people are watching, and you have plainclothes cops that are probably walking through that place.
Well, then you got like a lot of these like auction house and people like that. They've got their own security that look like actual security. It's not just like some teenage kid at like an In-N-Out burger like standing there. There's a couple of videos they go past and it looks like an ICE official or like some sort of riot cop that's got the gear on. Like, man, you literally want to pull somebody's card. There's going to be an incident taking place. So
I saw a video of somebody. I'll use the air quotes. It had to have been near Golden, because I'm pretty sure it had to have been near Golden because of the card that was in the case. But the security guy was like this little short, like 65-year-old Asian dude. And I'm going, if that's the type of security you're going to have guarding a case that's probably got, I don't know, $1 million worth of shit in it, then what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
who knows? It could be Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi been dead for a lot of years.
I'm just saying it could be a replica type person.
And leave it to you, Dave, to like find
Hey.
some sort of possibility. But
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
oh, fuck off. That's my saying, bitch. But no, like
trademark on that shit.
just like small, frail old guy, like, and I'm going, why? I mean, if he was strapped or whatever, then I'd say okay.
But even then,
But I'm like, do you not think that there's going to be some possibility at some point in time? Because the amount of money that is left in that convention center overnight, multiple nights, that you're not going to have some sort of organized attempts of some kind.
Well, you've seen it how many times in like smash and grabs at like the card shops now. There's one I think, and again, if Stuke were in here, he may know. If Dopey was in here, W Grim 35, he'd know. He's down that way. I think there's one in Forest Lake, which is just before like you really get into the city's bubble proper. I mean, that's like the outer ring, as it were.
Okay.
I think it's been broken into 3 times in the last like 9 months.
I'd be forced to give up.
Why? How does that not preclude like the national from like you see these smash and grabs like at a jewelry store, at a shoe store, like when there's like 15, 20 people, where all you're doing is causing confusion when you get people in there.
Right.
So how, knowing the money that's in this space, again, the only thing that like is a bit more troubling, I guess, on their account, if I'm thinking like that, I'm like, okay, yeah, Jordan rookies you can crack out and slab, but again, when you've got a lot of this stuff that's
101 to 25 to 5s, yeah.
When it's a specific serial number, and people nowadays take a picture of everything constantly. It's gonna come back to that person like, well, shit, this guy's got like 70 cards he's trying to sell, and these are all Big Boyd's or Probstein auction stuff or DC Sports that was happening. So
That
that's
is one.
like the trouble now. But yeah, it's like you
That
still
is
can
the
figure something out.
well, and that's the thing. But I have to admit, even though I won't say I've stepped back from the sports related part of the hobby, uh, like this is going to be the third year in a row. Brad has found me something at the National that I have coming. Nothing huge, but again, like
I know.
3 for 3. Uh, I figured you would probably know, but
He's like, I got this for Steve, and I'm like, awesome. Because I didn't know if this was like Bradley clause or this was
no,
purchase clause or whatever.
yes, yeah, I paid for that one. Not that it matters. Like, never pay sticker, and Brad apparently never pays sticker. So, uh,
I had to
but
pay sticker on my first purchase there.
did you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was day one. So
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
there was no need to negotiate. Brad tried for me. The guy goes, the price is firm on that one. I'm like, because I told him, I was like, I wanted it sticker, but if you can get it for less, all the better. But yeah.
So before I go on the other path that I was, if something's firm, why don't you actually put firm?
Yeah, just put like a little placard. Their prices are firm.
If
No
there's an
negotiation.
asterisk or a star,
Yeah,
that's
something.
the price.
Yeah, this is firm. There is no negotiation.
Yeah.
I don't care if you bundle the whole fucking case. The price is firm. Period. End of conversation. Because then you're not wasting you're not wasting your customer's time. You're not wasting your own time. Let's be real.
But
But
the second purchase was from the same booth, and it was on Saturday, and I actually got 25% off on that one.
Well, obviously that one wasn't firm.
Correct. Well, I would say that guy was going to be firm on most everything in the first few hours of the show.
Yeah.
Because Wednesday was only open a half a day, wasn't it?
It's only usually a few hours on Wednesday.
Yeah. And see, and that's when I got it, was Wednesday.
Yeah. But even then, let's be, because and if you're fair, if you're reasonably priced, and if you were to just and certain cards put firm,
yeah,
a lot of people would probably respect that more than trying to negotiate down and waste time. Like, and I'm only speaking for myself. If I walk up to a table and I see a card that I really want and I know it's firm, then I'm going to be like, hey, yeah, would you take this? For them to actually sit there and be like, the price is firm. Like, can you not read?
Yeah.
Oh, the last sale of this one, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Again, that could have been 6 months ago. That could have been a year and a half ago.
That could have been 5 people bidding on the same fucking card because they wanted it for a set, or I don't know.
But
Like,
my price is my price, and if you don't like my price, you can step away because I'm not paying or I'm not selling it to you at your price.
yeah,
And most of the time, that stuff will go because how many times have we seen other videos like, man, I want to pick up this car. Okay, it was priced at 400. I wanted it 350. Got to thinking about it, man. 400. Why would I? I've been looking for it for X amount of time or whatever. You think you have the intuition of it's gonna go up. Like I should
right.
get this now before I have to pay more. Rad and the Black Diamond Merino. I will always, because I told him, I said, if you don't get that now, you're paying more down the road. I will guarantee you this. And
Yep.
he ended up paying more. But it's like
Oh,
and you go back and it's gone because, hey, did you still have such and such? No, somebody came by, must have been 20 minutes after you left and saw it, dropped the 400 on it immediately. They were done.
Yep.
So again, just because you think it might be overpriced, I don't know, I really want it, but somebody else might be like, fuck, I've been looking for that as well. That's a $400 card. That's like, ooh, okay, I'm about it. So that's what a lot of people, I don't think, put into their thought process either. It's
That's
something
why I didn't fuck around.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna. If I see something that I am of interest in and like, I need it,
If you're comfortable, you're comfortable. Usually you're going to know right off the rip, is this something that I'm willing to pay? Or is this something that I'm comfortable paying?
Or
And if
is
the
this
answer is
something
yes,
or is this something I'm comfortable walking away from and not getting?
well, that too. So it's but that's the difference between the collector mindset and others. Let's be real. Because it's almost like a big boy, a full on big boy hobby. Like $100 could get you some nice shit pre-COVID.
Yeah.
$100 now, um, you're not going to get an Otani, most likely. Newer stuff, newer inserts, that type of stuff, yes. But like, you're not getting an Otani rookie for that.
10 years ago, I could buy really, really nice Brett Favre stuff for $250 or less.
Oh, I remember.
You could buy exquisite patch autos for that.
I remember.
And,
I remember.
And I mean, it was even that way with his flawless stuff when it came out in 14 and 15.
Yep.
You could buy the really nice flawless stuff for less than $500. $500 was like, holy shit, that's too much.
Yeah, but that was the top, kind of like your top price point.
Yeah.
Case in point, like 338 and some change for my 101. Yeah. And at the time, that was the most I ever spent on a card. Ever. Until I got the limited 101, which still, like, that was but so worth it. Because again, a card I saw on the checklist and I'm going, okay, am I ever going to see this? And if I ever see it, it's coming home because it's one of those that, like, it intrigued me. But it just, things are still so different. And football is still so far behind all the other sports. And I still don't understand. I still don't get it.
Yeah, outside of a couple guys, it's so far behind, it's funny.
I mean, fucking soccer shit is outpacing football stuff in certain instances. Granted, soccer again, is international. It's international. I understand.
Yeah.
But let's look at fucking wrestling. Wrestling's had a big boom. Huge boom for that matter. And here we are. Yes, football stuff has been on the increase, on the, on the upper trajectory as of late, more than it has in what seems in recent years. But it's still, like, I feel as though it's still so far behind compared to everything else, which still blows my mind. I just...
Well, for the longest time, whenever I was collecting Clay Matthews, the most I had ever spent on a Clay was $189. And that was what I paid for the 2012 Finite.
Which still is crazy.
Sold for $18,000 last year, the year before. I bid on that and it was $189. And I'm like, my God, that was expensive. And then the autograph listed, and I actually lost it to another guy who he frustrated me because him and I, prior to going with Clay, we would battle for James Stark's rare stuff. And when because I beat him on the 189, beat him on the finite. When the autograph finite listed, at that time I had over $500 in my PayPal account. And I was like, I'm going to bid everything that's in my PayPal account to try to, to win this card.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't win. He beat me. And then how I ended up with that, it was a few months later, he was needing to sell everything. And when he came back to me with that card, I told him, yeah, I'm interested in buying it, but I'm not paying you what you paid. And I ended up getting it from him for $475. Because him and I were the only two people going after it, and he knew I was. So, yeah. But at that time, also, in majority of collectors' minds, the autograph's better than the base card. I don't know when that changed. I don't know if it had to do with the fact that because at that time we still had Topps, and Topps Chrome, the supers and everything were on card for the rookies, whereas Prism were stickers. So I don't know if that's why the base finites are now considered better than having the autograph versions. Because I know that the autograph finite of Clay, I don't know if it's still on eBay, but it was on eBay for a couple of years for like $11,000 or $12,000, which was significantly more than the non-auto sold for. I don't, like I said, I don't know when that line of thinking changed.
Well, to be brutally honest about anything, like I don't understand, and I can't comprehend the asinine prices that people are paying these days for any of this, if I'm being honest. Because although yes, there are still cards that I would love to add to the TD collection that are still reasonably priced. They're not stupid. But because I'm a cheap bastard, and everybody knows I'm a cheap bastard, I'm not willing to pay more for something than what I feel like it's worth. And that's my downfall.
And speaking of cheap bastards.
Cheap bastards, yeah, this guy, cheap bastards.
What up? What's going on, Ed?
Edward.
I enjoyed all your videos.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Crypto grifter in the house.
I felt really bad whenever the first one popped up on my feed and I clicked on it to watch it. I was not subscribed to you.
That's all right.
I was like, damn, that's terrible. So I hit the subscribe button.
And a like and a subscribe and an appreciation. Wow.
Yeah.
Man. I haven't caught what you guys have been talking about. Just got done eating. Just got in from work. This national, it's fucking crazy. It's the Wild West. There was,
which you always say these days.
I mean, yeah, it's just so different, guys. We say it all the time. But even it's not even like how it was in 21 or 22. It's just the mentality of the hobby has just changed so much.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that though, Ed. In what ways? Comparative.
Well, like I would say 10 years ago, the majority was collecting. Like they have their team, they have their player, they have their niche that they like to collect. And they follow the sports, they closely watch the games, or even if they're delving into the vintage ilk, they have an emotional connection to the player, perhaps. Maybe they grew up watching them, or their dad grew up watching them, and there's like that connection there. In 2026, those are outliers, I feel like. It's purely about the monetization of every little aspect of this hobby to just make a ton of money. That's like the mentality that I see. And I thought, we joked about it a while ago. Let's go. Like people saying, let's go. Like that's going to be, take a shot every time you hear let's go. You know what I heard this weekend or this week in Chicago was the number one thing I heard? I'm all in.
Oh,
I fucking heard that probably at least 40 times and it was always the same group of players. I'm all in on Mantle. I'm all in on Jackie. I'm all in on Ohtani. I'm all in on Brady. I'm all in on Michael Jordan.
Big jump there.
Yeah.
It's just like the same. It's like the same 10 group of names, 10 group of players. Like Mantle, Jackie, MJ, Ohtani, Brady, Mahomes, Messi. The safe and smart elk.
We're gonna go the goats. Are we gonna give them that title?
They're
all
in. No one's all in on Josh Johnson, unfortunately.
But they're not.
One person is.
They're all in, but none of them are buying the best card of any of those players
because they can't afford it.
Hence, not being all in.
No, 100%. Because that's ultimately what I was thinking. The minute Ed said it, I'm going, okay.
Oh, so you're going after the 52 tops?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Who are these people, and how much money do they actually fucking have?
But I forget who it was exactly on here in our YouTube space of the hobby. When the pandemic happened, there was someone that made the point that it brought in a lot of sports bettors, a lot of people who like to gamble. And it seems like that's how that type of mentality is more prevalent now. People are looking like, because if you're saying you're all in on someone, I mean, that's basic gambling nomenclature. That's
100%.
poker. Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yep.
Like
100%.
these are assets. They don't care about collecting the cards. See, the thing is like the cards eventually need to get into the hands of a collector. Someone needs to appreciate the cards. It just can't be one endless all in or one endless flip in perpetuity, because it's not like that's just not going to work.
Well, until that aspect of the space starts to dwindle, from a collector perspective, yes, there's still stuff to be had, but even then, it still can be difficult to get certain things because I'll speak for myself. I'm a cheap ass. I refuse to pay some of the inflated prices because I still feel as though I know the TD market well enough to, it's like, okay, this card is not $200. This should be right around the 110, the 125 space. I'll pay that, but I'm not paying $200 because, again, cheap, but I'm also a collector, right? And at the end of the day, typically the collector is going to pay the correct market price for something because that's where it stops. The only time something leaves a collector's hands, Michael not included, is in the event that literally they're selling the collection or they're dead.
Mhm.
Usually those two. So how can somebody say, again, I'm all in? They're not buying the superfractor at $767,000 or whatever the fuck it was on Otani or whatever the fuck. That's not all in. You can't be all in on something unless you literally have like the top grails, the top upper echelon.
I guess what, like, I don't, and again, we're trying to assume what they're thinking, but when I hear that, like, I'm all in on Mantle, I'm all in on Jackie. The way I take that is they took all their savings, all their money,
And
they
banked it on them.
and just put it all on said player. Like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck the mortgage payment. I'm putting it all on Mantle.
But the question is, though, what's their end game? Because, okay, so you're all in.
To make money.
Great. But
They're
that's
hoping
what I was...
Jackie goes 5 for 5 next week and they can flip it.
But that's what I was getting at. Is it still the short-term mindset of, I'm taking my life savings of 20 grand, I'm banking it on X player. At some point, I need to turn around and sell my all in for 22 to then continue to, like, do you pivot? Do you start going all in on somebody else, or do you still maintain that you're all in on said player once you move from it?
If you saw what I saw this week in Chicago, I must have seen probably like 15 or 20 plus transactions over $10,000 on just cards, like, and all types of cards, not just, especially here on YouTube. You guys know people love the shiny cards, the shiny cards. No, it was, I would say, more than half of them were vintage that people were dropping that bankroll on, but the other half was definitely, like I said, the Otanis and Messi. People were going hard for the soccer, Messi and Mbappe. I don't know if it's because the World Cup was just recently, so there's a recency bias, but I'm not sure.
I mean, that would make sense.
And I was talking about this with Brad, with Scott, with Mike O, with all the guys in the Airbnb. I'm like, where the fuck is this money coming from? Like, I don't understand where all this money's coming from. Because, like, you guys know the current events. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are, like, struggling to put food on the table and pay their bills and living paycheck to paycheck. So I'm like, where the fuck is all this money coming from?
Hey,
it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I'm like, am I crazy? And I don't, like, I'm fine with admitting that I just don't know. I have no idea where this money's coming from. I don't know where all these crazy purchases are coming from. I just don't know. Well, and I don't know what the end game is.
Nobody's gonna ever know, because even if you had the opportunity to be some random YouTube influencer, to sit down and ask these people, hey, what do you do for a living? Where's all this fucking money coming from? You think anybody's going to tell you? Because, the reason for it is because, I'm not giving away my secret. Why am I going to tell all these other people how I came across my money? Maybe they got lucky. Maybe they did well in crypto. Maybe they did well in the stock market. Whatever. We know that that's always a possibility, but even that's a small percentage of people.
Correct. Is it like a bunch of millionaires come into the space now? Because the amount of money that's being thrown around at the National is mind-boggling. It's just
there is more money in this space than I think any one of us can actually truly fathom. We're talking billions are now somewhat getting into this space.
They're probably
Look-
close to that in transactions at the National for
Look-
the full week.
Look at DC Sports 87 or whatever on eBay. Look at their numbers. Look at their growth since they became like as big as what they are. It's stupid. Hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions. Hundreds of millions. Now, that's gross. That's not net. But even then, it's like there is so much money floating around. And the thing that I wonder is how many people, though, are actually like connected. And what I mean by that is significant individuals, and by definition, I mean an individual that has significant amount of money. Like fuck you money. Okay? So what I mean by fuck you money is hundreds of millions. That's fuck you money, which means they can do whatever the hell they want, whenever.
Mhm.
How many people, though, are connected to these individuals that have fuck you money that are just doing it on behalf of these people with fuck you money? Because these people with fuck you money have friends. And if they have friends that are in the space that know the space and this is what they want to do and they're treating it like an actual asset class, then you don't know who's actually in the space. Because you've got 10, 15 guys spending fuck you money belonging to somebody else. Or you've got fuck you money, and fuck you money, and all these fuck you money guys are just fuck you money spending the shit in the same circle, which we've said a million times.
The true inner circle.
Yeah, Vinny's mentioned it multiple times. We've all thought it. We know all these big freaking cards, they circulate in the same circle.
Yeah.
The only time that they don't go for more money than they did before is when they're not in the circle. Has anybody else noticed that? Or am I the only one?
Yeah, if it spins out of the playground thing you get on the merry-go-round,
Yeah.
when it spins out of the merry-go-round, then you make your money. That's when you're like, okay, I can let it go because I'm making 12 grand on it instead of here's 2 grand, then it's a 1 grand here, then there's a 1 grand loss here, but it's the human centipede of the same big cards going to the same 10 or so, 15 or so influencers, dealers, whoever it is.
Small percentage of people.
Somebody's like,
A lot of it's repackers.
that too. Yeah.
There was a lot of them at the National.
Yeah, but they're not buying the $1 million cards, though, or the $750,000 cards.
They were in Babylon, though. They were in the VIP lounge.
They're the reason.
Oh, I bet.
They're the reason why downtown and kabooms are worth.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you're going to get no argument from me on that front. But again, the only reason you see one of these big ass cards where they show a decrease in value and sell value is, I'm telling you, it's somebody else out of the middle of nowhere came in and sniped some fucking card from one of these big auction houses from said whoever and spent a shit ton of money. But because they're not part of the good old boys club or the inner circle or the Illuminati, whatever the fucking term we want to use, they're the ones, when they turn around and sell stuff, they're the ones who lose. Look at all the big losses on some of those big cards. I can almost guarantee you those people are not part of the percentage, we'll call it the less than 1%ers in the space.
Yeah, they
can almost guarantee it.
They either hold too long or buy at the peak.
Or sell way too soon.
Well, I mean, there's that too.
And like, let's be real, just because you have fuck you money doesn't mean your stuff isn't tied up in certain things to where it's like, oh shit, what you need to sell this? Well shit, it sold for, man, I ain't got 1.2. Okay, we'll call so and so. Hey, what do you got? Like 950. Yeah, like
Y'all want me to talk about the VIP room, the lounge, aka Babylon?
well, so I talked about it earlier because Rick actually posted the video of it. The impromptu non-sanctioned card show in the VIP lounge. Yeah,
That's
Go
the
for it.
third year in a row. That's the third year in a row, by the way, that's happened. That really took off in Cleveland. That's
Mhm.
where that really started to percolate back in 2024. Last year was kind of like that. Not as brazen, but still pretty much like that. This year was a full takeover. It was a full coup d'etat of just like the entire room was basically a secret card show. And you could not get into that room if you did not have a VIP pass. They had people stationed at the doors checking. Now Rick got in because he turned this 5-day early entry the other side, but they were busting people. Mike O saw people get busted. Some kids tried getting in there. They got, but I saw people get tossed out who didn't have VIP things. So I think this is like a slam dunk prediction. They're going to raise the price of VIP packages next year. They're probably going to bump them up each $100. I would be shocked if they do not raise the prices on those things.
Didn't they already do it for this year?
I don't think they did this year. No, it was $199 for VIP, so it was still $200. I think next year it'll be $299, and then All Access Super will be. I think All Access Super will be $399.
Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't remember paying $200 for my VIP in 23.
Yeah, it was $200.
I thought it was close to that price.
And I actually sold my VIP pass. I know I texted you guys. Yep. I sold my VIP pass, and I did not try to sell it. I was leaving. This was on Saturday at close to 3:00. I'm saying my farewells. I'm sending out text messages to my Airbnb guys saying, hey, thanks for a great week, guys. I'm going to be leaving, going to be going back to the house to pack up my stuff and get ready to head over to the airport, sending my messages, just taking one last look around. I'm in the lobby. I go put my phone in my pocket. I turn around. I go towards the doors. There's like 4 or 5 guys coming in with trunks of stuff, I'm assuming cards and showcases. They see I have a VIP pass and the guy's like, hey, are you selling that? I'm like, selling what? He's like, your VIP pass. He's like, are you selling that? Are you leaving? Are you done for the week? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving. The show's over for me. Well, we want your VIP pass. Would you take $50? And then brazen jokingly, I said, nah, I like to keep it as momentum. Make it 100. And I didn't even finish saying make it 100. He pulled a $100 bill out. Here you go.
Well,
I'm like, okay, here. Take it. I said $100. I probably could have said 150. He would have said yeah.
You should have said double. You should have said 4.
In one of the Facebook groups I'm in, old school, there's a lot of money gets thrown around in there. They were selling VIP passes in there all throughout the week for $1,000+.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, you undersold yourself at $100.
Holy fuck! I was happy with 100 too.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking I'm like, you only got like a half a day and Sunday. That's it. But crazy.
But if they can go up that, as you call it, Babylon, and set up cards up there.
It was indeed Babylon. So I went up there Wednesday. I went up there Wednesday and Thursday because I want to sit down because there's too much walking the showroom floor for hours on end. I don't want to do that. It's just there's too much shit going on. I got to sit down for a little while, cool my jets, and charge my phone. So I like to go up there, pull up a seat, go next to a power outlet, and charge my phone, and just relax for a little bit. So I was up there every day in that place. Wednesday, Thursday, it was just wall-to-wall people, showcases out, signage, you name it. Buying signs, buying vintage signs, buying Kaboom signs, buying downtown signs. I'm like, holy fuck, this place is, I mean, they're not even attempting to shut this down. This is just as you are. Do your thing. So on Friday, I did bring cards with me to sell because the trip has going to the National now is freaking expensive.
Yep.
So I'm like, I need to sell some stuff to subsidize the cost of this trip because between airfare and Airbnb, I was in for $1,000 between airfare and Airbnb. That's not even including the VIP package that I bought, which was $200. So really $1,200 that we're looking at for this trip, just for the basic necessities. So I'm like, let me sell some stuff. Mike O went through most of my stuff. He posted in his video. He bought most of my stuff. So I thought I brought a decent amount of stuff because I was telling the guys this in the Airbnb. Most 95% of the stuff I buy is for my collection. Like, I'm not buying shit with the intention of reselling. So like to the lead up to this, to the lead up to the show, I must have went through every one of my boxes. I went through every freaking box, every slab box, every Z folio, every binder, looking for stuff that I could potentially bring. And I really could not find much stuff that I want to part with because most of all the stuff I buy is for my collection. What I did find was Otani stuff, good old Mickey Charles Mantle. I brought some of that, so I'll get rid of that. Kyle Tucker. I was on a Kyle Tucker kick for whatever reason, so I had a couple of his cards. Then I had some like random cards I think I got from mystery packs like back in like 2018, 2019. Like some decent stuff like Manny Machado auto from 5-star, Ozzy Albies, Diamond Icons auto, rookie auto. Like not bad stuff. And then of course I had Soto stuff to get rid of it as well because he's on the Mets, so fuck him. Get rid of it. So, but most of my stuff got cleaned out by Mike. And then I also did some trades with Big Smooth. Big Smooth had a tonnage of stuff that he brought with him to potentially move because he likes to sell. He likes to sell cards. So he's like, come on to the VIP room with me and just put out some of your cards. See where it goes. So I said, that's not a bad idea because I'm walking around the showroom floor and the remaining cards I would like to get rid of. I can't even have a dealer look at them because these buying stations, every buying station is like 20 people deep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to stand there for a half an hour. And then potentially I get up to the dealer and they're like, no, I'm not interested. Or they give you a 50%, 60% offer with a fucking can of Vaseline. So I don't want to do that. So I went up to the VIP room, aka Babylon, with Big Smooth. We found a table in the kind of near the back, near the stage. We put our cards out. Within 5 minutes of putting the cards out, it was like feeding season. People all coming over. And I gotta say, truly, the people that were coming up to the table, very respectful. They're very respectful. Very nice. Most of the people coming up to the table, actually, I found out, owned card shops. And they were looking to buy inventory.
Interesting.
Half of the people that bought my stuff and that bought Jeremy's stuff, of course, you had the repackers in there buying stuff, but a good majority of them owned card shops. The guy that bought my mantle, the mantle that I had, the 65, he owned a card. He owned a card shop, and then the kid that bought the Tuckers, I think, was a repacker, but I gotta say, very respectful, and the guys were kind of busting my chops a little bit in the Airbnb because they said, you're not rejecting any offers. You're not countering any of the, you're supposed to counter when someone makes you an offer. But these guys were only coming $5 or $10 off my sticker price.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to haggle over $5 or $10. I mean,
reasonable.
That's what I do. That's what I do to the dealers. So I'm like, I do the same shit when I'm on the showroom floor. So I expect the same treatment. So I'll just, hey, that I'm not going to be like, no, it's firm. I mean, I'm not paying a table fee. I'm not fucking, I'm not paying taxes on this stuff. No, $5 off. Go ahead, take it. $10 off, fine.
Hey, that pays for Big Chicken, right?
Yes, it does. So at the end of the show, I wind up. How much do you think I sold? I know that's kind of an open-ended question, but how much do you think I sold? Now, I'm just one guy.
$400.
No, way higher. Way higher.
Well, you didn't specify how many cards you actually had set out, so
you did bring the Holiday back home, correct?
Yes, I did not sell that. No.
Well done.
I sold everything out. I sold pretty much everything else I brought with me. Okay. So I kept the Holiday. The Holiday never even actually went to the National with me. It stayed in the Airbnb.
Awesome.
Okay,
so I 3,200.
25.
A little bit lower than 25. I including the VIP pass that I sold on Saturday, $2,000.
Nice.
Which paid for the Airbnb, paid for the flight, and basically paid for
everything else.
All the cards I picked up.
Mm-hmm.
So all the cards I picked up were essentially
free.
I guess you could view it as a trade.
Beautiful.
It was a wash.
Yeah.
Which is what I mean, that's how I collect nowadays is I sell to buy other stuff. And typically it is a wash. It's usually pretty close to, because I sold this past week in order to pay for a couple things that people picked up for me in Chicago. And yeah, it was nice to not have to touch money in the bank account.
The other cool thing was in selling those cards, it made me a lot more comfortable offering on cards I wanted for my collection, like the CC Fractal that I picked up and the Sophie card. Normally I would probably not pay $260 combined for those cards. Like, even though I really like those cards and want those cards, because usually my typical show budget for let's say the Philly show is $300 to $400. So I'm never spending all the money on just two cards. I like to spread the money out, spread my budget out. But since I sold those cards, I'm this is essentially I viewed it in my mind as a trade. I got rid of all that stuff. Now I can just buy these and they're essentially free. That's how I was looking at it.
Yep.
But the people in the VIP room were for the most part very cool, very nice, respectful with their offers. Yeah, there was some grifting going on. It goes without saying in certain parts of that room. Mike O got a freaking Zach Wheeler autograph that I think he was saying comps at $60 to $70 for 20.
Yeah, that's
there was great deals in that room. There was some really good deals. That's why I told Rick, Mangini, the older guys. There's a lot of fucking vintage in that room, and you can probably hammer something out if you got the cash, especially on one of the more expensive cards. Pepino Man specifically, when he sold his Ohtani in the auction house, I told him in the one chat that I'm in with him with, I said, Julio, listen, if you go to the National, you might have a better opportunity to get the mantle that you want to get, the 52 mantle. Just put all your money in a fucking duffel bag, hold on to it for dear life. And you'll fucking find that card in that VIP lounge. You'll find that fucking 52 mantle in Babylon, because that card is such a mega flipped card. That's one of the biggest flipped cards in the hobby. You will find that. And sure enough, I found 3 copies in the room. Now, 2 of them were not priced, but obviously, there's they're going to be moolah money. But the one cracked me up. It said a lot on it. I had to take a picture.
Oh,
of
I
that.
saw. Yes, I
said, hey, can I please take a picture of this? And the guy's like, what? Yeah, you could. Like, he would kind of hesitate it. I'm like, so I just took a picture of it. I'm like, how much is a lot?
Yeah, define a lot, please.
He's just like, it's a lot. A lot.
That's not a number, dumbass.
This guy was older too. He was like a Gen Xer. He was about like probably like 40, 50 years old, somewhere around there.
Hey, be careful.
I'm just saying. He wasn't a young buck. That's what I'm trying to say. Or he wasn't a boomer. He was a vintage flipper, baby.
Yeah, but be fucking careful. Like 47 here, fucker.
Yeah, 46 in a few weeks. So,
but I tell the guys this all the time. Like, that to me is like such a mind-blowing experience of the National, because you see these cards, these type of, like, you were talking about fuck you money, Steve. Like,
yep,
those are fuck you cards. Because
100%.
98% of us cannot afford those cards that are in the hobby. Like, I'm talking, there was one guy had the Rambley's Johnson for, that's like, fuck, that's like so fucking expensive. You'll find a green cob in there. Hello, friends. The green cob is here. You'll find that in there. Fucking 52 Topps Mantle, 52 Jack. Oh my God. The other crazy thing, I don't think I mentioned it to you guys. On Thursday, when I was charging my phone, the corporate people put up a barrier in the trade room. It wasn't there Wednesday. They put up a fucking barrier to shield themselves off from people, and they put like sofas in there and stuff. So I'm like, shit, that's where I was charging my phone at, in the corner there. So I got to find a new space. So I went to the other corner. Lo and behold, I go to the other corner. It's like an 18, 19-year-old kid sitting at a table by himself. And it just says stacks with the banknotes on them, stacks of $100 bills. I'm like, oh my God, why is this guy got all this fucking money laid out on the table? Does he have a sign anywhere that says he's buying or selling or something? No sign. I'm like, why the fuck does he have all this money on the table? This is like really stupid. And then as I walk closer to the table, guess what I saw stacks of near the money of a certain player. What player you think I saw stacks of?
Kobe, Jordan, Ohtani, Mantle,
Jackie Robinson. He had every Jackie Robinson except for the Leaf. He had all the Tops and Bowmans. Just stacks of them. Invest in Jackie. I'm like, oh my God, man. Like, where the fuck is the, like, again, we go back. Where the fuck are you getting the money for all this? How did you buy all these cards? Like, this is crazy. There's more money on that table than probably in all our bank accounts.
Well, then the question becomes, though, it's actually the question. It's not necessarily where'd you get the money. It's where'd you get the money at the time in which you bought the cards. Yeah. Because depending on the time dictates how far said money goes. $100,000, which again is a significant amount of money. I'm not trying to say that it isn't, but $100,000 in 2020 could buy a shit ton of high valued cards.
Maybe he bought them in 20. Maybe he bought them right during the pandemic,
or just before.
Which is specifically for Jackie. His stuff has really exploded. I would say the last 3 or 4 years.
Probably.
Like his stuff has gotten through the roof as more people on social media just keep like, hey, look at this. Look at Jackie. Look at his career. Low pop, eye appeal. Low pop, eye appeal. Low pop. That's all you fucking hear.
Every vintage dork has gotten all the mantles. So now
pivot to something else.
I don't even think that that's a pivot. I think people are actually finally, truly understanding the significance of Jackie Robinson.
That, and I think people now, because since the pandemic, I think a large majority of people have come back and they're trying to find like not there's certain things you like, the jambalayas, the PMGs, the the key mantle stuff, the MJs, the 86 Fleer. Like there's only a finite amount of money. So you have to find something that, oh, I think Robinson's great. Or as those back pages was saying, like it could be exploited. So hey, I'm going to dump everything into this, and now I got stacks in Babylon.
Yeah. I'm all in.
I'm all in, baby. But that's
on
just the mentality of the hobby now.
But on the flip side, though, like that's great. So you're sitting on stacks of cash and stacks of jackies. Are you buying or are you selling?
Maybe he was buying.
And if you were trying to sell now because whatever reason, maybe your prices are a little stupid, which is why you still have stacks.
Oh, you know what I also sold too in the VIP lounge? This was kind of funny. Multiple people, at least 3 instances I saw, big ass Pelican case, one of them huge Jones. How many cards do you think were in there?
Yeah,
none. All filled with $100 bills. It was like,
are you fucking serious?
No, dead serious. All filled with cash. They were going around just buying.
I'd have jumped that motherfucker.
I'm like, oh my God. Like, maybe it's because I grew up in a major city. I'm like, this is really dumb. Like, this is this is really dumb. Like, I don't know where you're from, but like,
that's what I was talking about earlier. Like,
if somebody sees that outside, maybe, hey, you're out to dinner, maybe somewhere in Rosemont, or I don't know, or you're taking a lift home and they happen to see you open it or something like that. Like, and they drop you off and they know where the fuck you're at. Like,
but that's my point. Organized crime is still everywhere. It doesn't, like, nowhere is safe. You can't tell me that there ain't motherfuckers watching these places like this, knowing that there is millions of dollars there. Like, why? And
it's in Chicago, where again organized crime has a history.
A little bit.
So,
but only one of them was a kid. The other two were probably, like, I would say 40-ish, maybe late 30s, my age around.
Then they're dumb. They're like, fucking dumb.
One of them was a kid. So we could say, oh, you're a dumb kid. 2 others are fucking adults.
They're just dumb. They're fucking dumb. And that's another potential indication that there's people out there that think they're untouchable. Oh, everything's great. Oh, yeah, nothing's going to happen to me in this space. Yeah, whatever. Let it happen once.
You show it off on, like, Instagram. You show it off on TikTok.
That's the other thing.
You do this. You fan out the money. You could do that on there. Once people know where you're at, you might want to start keeping a lower profile. Don't do that in person. Like, start walking around a show with how many thousands of people, and then who knows, hey, here's Johnny Thug over here. He's going to radio, like, walkie-talkie, hey, I got this guy. Start giving, like, some specifics. He's got X amount of money in a fucking little case. The case looks like this. Here's what he's wearing. We get a payday. We just
not unless
playing the lottery.
Yeah, not unless you have armed security walking your ass around.
By the way, I got to say, the workers at Rosemont, they did a great job. These fucking people were outnumbered probably 1,000-to-1. And apparently a couple of them had a freak out. I think it was Thursday in the lobby. Mike O was saying, like, a couple workers, like, literally just had a freak out in the lobby because there was just so many fucking people in the goddamn lobby. And it probably was a fire hazard. That's why they opened the doors. I think they opened the doors 20 minutes early just to, move out, spread out among the convention center. Like, spread your ass out. Like, get out of the lobby. Because if you put, like, I don't know, like 10,000 people in that lobby, that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
You're shoulder to shoulder. You can't do anything. Dude, you got to spread out.
Well, then you got people the size of me, and then you got little kids, and fuck, there's going to be people getting crushed. I mean.
Yeah.
Well, that's a huge liability. 100%.
So, props to them for opening. I know some people were like, I think some of the dealers were agitated because like they weren't fully set up, but
it's on them.
You got thousands of people crowding this lobby. Spread this shit out. Open the doors. So that's what happened there.
Get your shit set up on time.
Yeah.
Wednesday when I got there, there was a decent amount of dealers not fully set up. And I'm like, how can you not be set up? You had all day Tuesday to set up. Like, you have a full day to set up.
Yeah, plan accordingly.
I'm like, or did they get bought out? Did another dealer buy them out pre-show?
I mean, I guess that's always a possibility in small situations, I would think. But even then, that biggest show of the year for a lot of people.
For all the selling that I seen happen, and there was a tremendous amount. I don't even know how much. Way too much. There was a lot of empty showcases, which tells me a lot of people are buying.
Yeah.
So, and there were some dealers that I looked at their showcases and I'm like, oh, that's really overpriced. Oh man, are they smoking crack? And I'm like, holy shit, their whole showcase is empty. Like, they pretty much sold everything. So, is it me? Do I just think things are overpriced? Or maybe they're fairly priced? And maybe I'm out of touch because people are buying like crazy.
But you weren't there. You weren't there when it sold. So even if it was $1,000, doesn't mean that it sold for $1,000. So you don't know what it sold for. Hell, it could have sold for $500. You don't know. But I understand what you're saying. Like, okay, you've got people out there that have stupid prices, and yet you stumble back by them at some point, and they're like, "You're the dude with stupid prices. What the fuck?" Like, I get it.
Brad and I were talking about this. Brad was saying that out of all the nationals he's been to, this one pound for pound, the prices were the most ridiculous on the high side. And I'm like, is it us? Because like I'm going around, I'm seeing a lot of empty showcases. Like there's a mass buying going on. There's mass selling going on, but there's mass buying going on.
Well, I'm pretty sure the consensus across multiple people were the prices were stupid. So it's not you or Brad. I think it's more from a collector perspective.
That
maybe that's the difference. But, most of us don't watch all the influencers and everything else. So like, who's to say? Maybe it is because we're collectors. I don't know. Who knows?
I think I got a great deal on all the stuff I picked up. There wasn't one single card that I picked up that I thought oh man, I really overpaid on that. I thought I got a really solid deal on pretty much everything. But you had to do your due diligence. Like I talked about the Sabrina Ionescu autograph I bought.
Yeah.
The auto. Holy fuck. I went to the one dealer who sells mostly WNBA. And I'm like, the CC stuff is like way out of my price range. The Kate Martin stuff seems to be priced okay. And then I look for Sabrina's cards and I'm like, damn, I want that card, but I'm not paying $350. That just seems high to me. Oh, it's in a 9 too, and it's still $350. Fuck. Like, I don't even, what's a 10? $600-$700? I'm like, okay. Well, that's off the list. I go 3 rows down. The same fucking card is $230. Like, Jesus Christ, that's a huge price difference. $350 to $230? The fuck? Like, you got to do your homework, people. You got to be. I'm sure it's even more glaring in the vintage space. It's probably worse in the vintage space because this one has a slightly better centering and it has a stronger eye appeal.
Better registration.
Fuck, man.
It's got the Mike Baker green sticker on it.
Oh, that shit was packed. The Mike Baker stuff, man, no one gives a fuck. For all the stuff that for like everyone that complains, even the stuff with PSA, I didn't even touch that yet. They had so many submissions that they couldn't do anymore at the what's it called? At the end of the convention. You get your stuff back by the end of the convention.
Right.
That's how many submissions they got.
Did you see the big deal with that with the dude with the Jordan autos?
I did not. What happened with that?
He paid $12,000 for these, I think it was 3 Jordan IP autos to get graded, slabbed. Yep. He did it, and it was supposed to be either midday or end of day.
Probably didn't.
Well, that came and went. And then they told him that he wouldn't even be able to get them by the end of the show. He would get them in 2 to 3 weeks after that. And they wanted a $5,000 upcharge. They wanted $5,000 more dollars.
Did they at least give him some lube?
None whatsoever. That's going to turn into a lawsuit there.
You would think, but this is what happens when you are basically a monopoly and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Correct.
It's fuck you and fuck the horse you rode in on. I'm going to do what I want and you can't do shit about it. Yeah. That's basically what PSA is now.
And then when he brought up the fact that they weren't giving him, the service that he was promised and paid that $12,000 for,
they probably told him to kick rocks.
They marked one of his things questionable authenticity.
Oh my God.
Even though it had already been authenticated by like 2 JSA. Or 3 other legit things, including, with Jordan, you have
Upper Deck,
the GOAT. They're called the GOAT authenticators. And they specifically work with Jordan stuff. They passed it. And PSA did that. I was like, 100% it was a dig, a fuck you.
And they
and that's literally it was literally signed with the same marker, same signature as the other card it was submitted with because they were both signed at the same time. Yeah, the thread was real ugly. I quit reading it because I had to go to bed.
Was that on Blowout?
I believe I saw it on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That line for PSA.
Oh, that looked.
Right. Oh, it was gross.
Yeah.
It was. It just kept going and going and going and going. And see, the way I look at a line like that is like, that guy's at least 250. That guy's at least 250. That guy's at least 250.
Yeah.
Like 3 of these dudes are my card budget. I'm like, holy fuck, and they're just paying to get a card graded.
Yeah.
And all the rebel rousing on social media, on Twitter, IG, on here, all the rebel rousing, all the pitchforks and stuff. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it don't matter, man. They are like too big to fail. They're not. It's crazy. They could charge $500 and there would be a line out the door.
Yeah,
there's just no stopping them.
And they now realize that, and that's what they'll just continue to do. They'll just continue to raise prices until it doesn't work. But it's always going to work because it's degenerates.
That and everyone's too. I hate to use this word. Everyone's too invested in it with their own self-interest, and they're not going to go against their self-interest because. I would assume all of us have PSA cards in our collection, and probably everyone in the community at least has a PSA card in their collection, and they're not going to go, and your average Joe is not going to want to go against their own interest. So just, they're wielding the Ring of Power and the fucking Infinity Stones.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no stopping them.
And while we were on here tonight, I guess there was somebody posted, and it was a story. They said that's a story that wasn't getting talked about. Apparently, Nat Turner had to be taken out by security because people were violently shouting at him in his face, wanting to fight him.
At the National?
Yes.
I didn't hear about that. That's interesting.
And that's what a lot of people said. A lot of people go, I didn't realize this happened.
Who was reporting that? Just random people? Wasn't that Boston card hunter feller, was it?
No. Wasn't that guy. Was not that guy.
Carlos is in the chat. Carlos, get on this. Call your sources up. This is screaming good content.
How did you see any like actual trading going on other than like maybe in Babylon or amongst like
me and Jeremy made a trade?
I was just saying besides like the housemates and like all that, was there any of that going on? Because again, I just don't feel that. And even like the trade nights, they're just another extension of the show to sell. It's nothing. You don't see a lot of. Hey, I got this Chase Utley to 10. You got a JJ Patch out of 5.
Nobody does that, Dave.
I really don't give a shit what it is.
I should say nobody, but
so.
Ed, I wish you wouldn't have said Boston Card Hunter out loud because it just popped up on my feed.
Oh, yeah. I'll probably be doing another piece on PSA.
His is on
Big Hobby's coming for you.
It's apparently it's a rant on Mike Baker.
I mean, that's another thing. Like the sticker thing, to me, it's completely ridiculous. I can understand if you're a speculator or you're on the monetary side, like it increases the value. So that's the allure. I don't understand the allure if you're a collector.
Yeah.
But with that said, they got so many submissions that they couldn't they had to shut it off. They were the money faucet was turned on too much. They had to turn the faucet off.
Well,
So,
and he's doing his own grading now too, isn't he? Wasn't he launching that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say the air conditioner did fine on the main floor. There was like certain parts actually that were kind of cold. Like when you first come in, all like the dealers from like the 80s, all the old heads, like that area was cold. And I don't know if it was cold because the air conditioner was great or just because not a lot of people were there. Maybe it's a combination of both, but it was cool in that area. And throughout the showroom floor was mostly cool. Now upstairs was different. Upstairs was fucking hot.
Yep.
It was toasty up there. It was hot and sweaty. And these fuckers had a whole year to figure out to space the aisles. Just space the aisles. We're not talking about launching a rocket in space. We're just talking space the aisles. Do you think they spaced the aisles?
That's what I saw in Neo. Neo said that the aisles look the fucking same space.
They were. They basically were.
You looked at the end. There's all this fucking empty room that wasn't being utilized at like the end of the aisle. Like, why couldn't you like bring everybody out a little further, open up the lanes a little more, and like I said, we don't have ballerinas and like theater kids like going down the aisle. We got a lot of offensive and defense and interior linemen going down the aisle. Space is at a premium in various ways.
And that was my favorite part. Believe it or not, that was my favorite part of the entire showroom floor was upstairs because you had the most wild variety of cards up there and you didn't know what dealer you were going to next. You had pre-war, you had vintage non-sports, you had F1, you had set like There was a sapphire dealer up there with like F1, tennis, whole bunch of stuff. You had a shit ton of soccer. You had Bundesliga. There was just so much variety up there. There was a couple dealers from Hong Kong, China, and Japan and South Korea. They had their own country's cards up there. Stuff that you don't really see. A lot of BBM, the Japanese baseball cards. Like, there was some really great shit up there. Unfortunately, you couldn't get down the fucking aisle to look at half these cards. That's why you had to get there early on certain days. And if you were there early, go upstairs. That's what I did on most of the days. I think most of the cards I actually bought were from the second floor. Also, there was WNBA up there as well. There was some good WNBA dealers. I would say the majority up there, though, was I would say probably modern and then vintage right behind. There was a good amount of vintage up there. The Harper SSP I bought, that was upstairs.
Okay.
That's a hard fucking card to find. That's a very tough card.
It's a really cool card.
I like the Reggie White flawless patch.
Oh, what was that, Dave? I'm sorry.
The Reggie White, the flawless patch.
That was upstairs.
Yeah, I don't think it's not the same showcase as the Harper, because I saw
that thing was ridiculous. That card was insane. I should have.
I'm like, ooh, I've got what do I got? Like National Treasures? I got some Reggie White that's ridiculous.
There was Pokemon upstairs as well, Stuke. The thing with Pokemon that I always find there's like Pokemon specific dealers, and there was definitely a good, like, they were spread out throughout the national. I always, maybe Stuke will get a bigger kick out of this. I always find it like really hilarious though when the person will have like mostly golden age vintage, and then you see like a bunch of Pokemon in the other showcase. Like, you got Mantle, you got like Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Harmon Killebrew, Brooks Robinson, Frank Robinson, and then boom, you got like Charizard, Chansey, Hypno-Chan, Togepi. Like,
hey, there's a Snorlax in the Mantle.
My Snorlax I paid $185 for is sitting at $306 on the market.
By the way, not a lot of One Piece. I guess it was all at Strongsville. So not that much. I was kind of disappointed. I thought there would be more One Piece.
It's funny, that One Piece stuff in that higher end group that I'm in, that got really hot for about 6 days. It was wild watching how much that stuff was selling for and how much everybody wanted it. And then it just disappeared.
Well, Big Smooth brought the Monkey D. Luffy card that I traded for and ordered the deal. He had about like 15 of them, all in PSA 10s, and I believe he sold about like 6 of them in the VIP room.
Nice.
For sticker price. So that's 600 right there for Monkey Dig. Doing pretty, not too shabby.
I think he knows for next year. His card set that he made, he needs to make more.
The troll pack
and sell that stuff. Be like, here's what the set has.
He was.
Does he have any more of the Sophie Cunningham cards?
I don't think he does.
Like
I did grab a couple for you. Rick came when Rick was up there. I was just like, yo, Jeremy, come on, man. Let's give Rick some of these point. He's like, yeah, sure. So we made sure we took some out of his sale pile and gave it to Rick. But those things were going pretty steadily.
As I say, he makes a set and he wants, tell him to, I'll pay $20 for a set.
I'll let him know. I'll pass it along.
Again, and then in 2 years he can sell it to me in person.
Which one was your favorite? I got those back pages. One was.
I mean that one I cried because again that's how I always think of Eric, and I love Eric, but I mean that's how I usually think of And then the defensive bidding with the AI people.
That one, yeah.
The defensive bidding was hilarious.
And then Beckett was like, what's it? The guy with the big teeth that has like the motivational speaking. Like
Tony Robbins?
Yes, and the headset on and like that. I'm just like, that's fucking ridiculous. But that's what it is.
The Sophie crossing the Delaware was fantastic.
Oh God, that was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just like that.
I'm partial to the Big Bry CC pregnant one, only because I've watched that fucking video so many times just to laugh my ass off. Like Brian Gray, like
he's got some interesting takes.
Yeah, he's got some. That video in particular, though, is just I quote the shit out of that video all the time.
And again,
it's just so funny.
I didn't see like up close. He didn't like hold that card. Was there like a pregnancy test with like a plus somewhere?
No, it was just it was like a cartoon image of like people at like dealers.
Oh, I know,
Yeah,
I saw it,
yeah.
but I mean that would have been awesome if there was like a pregnancy test on like a display case. And like somewhere in the back, there's like a bassinet or whatever, and like.
But I'm picturing like someone that's not watching that podcast episode from like a comedy standpoint, like maybe they're taking it seriously and they like really think of it, like the way he just talks, he's just like, if she gets pregnant, the entire WNBA market's gonna collapse. It'll be fucking catastrophic.
It can't collapse as long as Anthony Devine's buying everything.
Fuck. So I was glad to see that one in the troll pack. Obviously, the TDP one was good. The Jim Beckett one, that one was hilarious. Mangini knocking out the drywall was pretty good.
When you have like the what is it, like the law enforcement like dummy to the right or right behind him there. That was, the first time I saw him, I'm like, who the hell's that guy? And then I like paused it. I'm like,
see, I didn't get the dummy though. The dummy one on mine. I got the Hell's Kitchen Kingpin variant.
You did.
And I'm like, apparently it's the only one. And I'm like, fuck, I want the one with the dummy in the background because like when Mangini goes in his basement and he's got the nunchucks, he fucks up that dummy all the time. With the nunchucks and the kickboxing and the punching.
I think
like that's the one I want. And he didn't make too many of those. I think those were the SPs of the pack. Those were the chasers.
Well, we'll talk offline and we'll give him some ideas. I know he's probably already got the ideas, but there's one that it has to be on there for next year. I mean, if it isn't, you don't even need to tell him to make anything anymore. There's one particular individual / obsession that has to be notated on the trading card form. But yeah, seeing those, I'm like, I always like seeing what you do with the deal with them because you know it's going to be a bunch of shit where you're like, you have no idea half the stuff exists. And again, like somebody said in I think the group chat, like Brad cackling at the Kermit the Frog thing. You, Naomi, she was on her phone and I'm watching that, and you hear Brad just cackling. She's like, "Who was that?" That was Brad. Just shook her head. I said, "Oh."
I've since found out that Kermit card is not the true rookie. There's other Kermits out there.
Oh.
Swindled by a friend at National in the same house. I
got the scales need to be tipped because like the previous couple of years I've kind of run away on those sides of the deal. So I mean I pretty much got taken to the woodshed this year, but it's all right. It's all in good fun. Big Smooth did sell that Mano. I traded him. He got $400 for it. Well, he got it graded by CGC, and it came back a 9. Yeah, it came back a fine 9. And I told him, I'm like, I guarantee that I'll at least get a fine 9. I was happy for him now. It was a good sale. He put in the work.
Did he crack the Otani and grade that too, or no?
That I don't think he sold.
Okay.
I actually found one of those in the showcases. It was the only other time I seen that card. I took a picture of it and I sent it to him. That dealer was asking, I think, like $185 for it.
There's one thing I'd seen. I don't know if I put it in the group chat. I know I showed Trista because I'm like, this thing is the guy that, and I'll send you the link too at some point, Ed, and you too, Michael. Even if you don't want to watch it, it's fine. I don't know if the guy is new to the space and knows just like a couple things, but he was long form videos, like over an hour long, and he's just going through like all this stuff, all the booths and looking at stuff. So he stopped at like somewhere where normally we wouldn't go. It's not like a spot where we're like, man, we got to stop here and look around. With like the framed jerseys, or like a jersey with like a picture autographed and like the little placard or something on there. And there was a fucking John Gotti picture, because right away I'm like, that's Gotti. And then it looked like letters. So I don't know if they were prison letters or what, but of course he just sort of like goes over there and like looks, and I'm like, dude, fucking let me see the price. I want to see what this would cost, because if I step into the National and I see this and it's at a price that I very much enjoy, and it's got some kind of cert on there, man, that's something I'm gonna get, because fucking the mob, that's where it's at. You the Gambino and all
course,
the
you drive, so like that's easy for you. You can get the big stuff.
correct.
That's why I didn't take the Sictifer TD piece, is because it's like, one, I would have to ship it up there, and two, I would have to ship it home, and I would be afraid that somehow it would get fucked up and I'd be devastated, because I do want it autographed at some point.
Yeah,
So,
that was. I'm like, okay, yeah. You see all the other like jerseys and picture type collage things, but I'm like, that's not something I would think I'd see there. Yeah, you see Elvis. Yeah, you see like the Beatles or the Monkees, or maybe a Johnny Cash jacket or something, but like fucking John Gotti? Like, no fucking way. It's like finding a JJ in a showcase. It's like that no, that can't be fucking real.
By the way, people are finally starting to come around, I think, a little bit on something that I've been saying for, 3 years now? 2 years, maybe? The National really has outgrown the Donald E. Stevenson Center. I got fucking bludgeoned for saying that like 2 years ago. Because I remember I was defending Cleveland. Defending Cleveland, man. The mistake by the lake. Defending that shit. It's a simple Google search. Just do a simple Google search. You'll see the IX Center is way larger than the Donald E. I can't speak.
Stevenson.
Donald E. Stevenson Center. Fuck.
Yeah.
But now people are finally waking up. It was pretty rough in there.
Michael's not
getting in
up.
there.
Michael's falling asleep.
I'm reading.
The traffic.
It literally looks like your eyes are closed.
No, I'm reading.
You're pulling an Ed Bird.
I have fallen asleep on here before.
You have. Well,
I'm sure
and
many people have fallen asleep watching us before too.
well, we did say a short episode, but like we always like to hear things from like boots on the ground, so to speak. So,
Absolutely.
and I had to step away to go let
Hear my
the
war report,
dogs.
my report from the trenches.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you who had the worst weekend: Lyft drivers and Uber drivers. They were not
Oh,
happy.
I bet.
They were miserable lot.
I bet.
Having to drive in there, and then all the lights on that street they're all camera lights. So if you go through there, you're getting fucked with for $200 going through a camera light. My one Lyft driver wanted me to get off the side of the road, wanted me to get off the side of the highway.
Yeah.
He didn't outright ask me, but he like insinuated it like 3 or 4 times because the traffic was all the way backed up to the highway. He's like, "You see through the trees there?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "The building's right there." He's like, "You can cut through if you go over the guardrail."
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm like, "I'm good, man. I'm not in a hurry."
Do you have hobo stab insurance? Because they're living in the woods.
And then what made it worse was the car in front of us and the car behind us were both Uber and Lyft. What do you think happened? Both the passengers in both those cars got out and went over the rail. So he's like, "See, man, look, the people in front and the people in back, man, they're gonna be in there for a whole 30 minutes before we even get anywhere near the door." I'm like, "Hey, that's fine. I'm not in a hurry. I
got a VIP pass, bitch. I'm getting in early anyways.
I'm not in a hurry." Also, if you park in that parking garage, and I love like the Airbnb guys know I hammer on this all the time. All the fucking bitching that everyone did in 2024 complained about the parking situation in Cleveland. Chicago is way worse. It's not even in the same ball field. If you park in that parking garage on Wednesday and Friday, and unfortunately our guys got stuck in there, guess how long it took them to get out of the parking garage on, I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday. It took them 2 fucking hours to get out of that parking garage.
We didn't have that problem in 23.
2 hours.
John and I always drove to it, but we parked in the parking garage and we didn't go back to our car until we were leaving on Sunday morning.
And then, of course, I believe the elevators were also broken again.
Oh,
that's lovely.
Tell you, man, that facility can't handle all the people.
Yeah.
That's why Detroit, fuck yeah, baby. Let's go to the mile, y'all.
Let's stay away from the mile.
We got Ed 209 going to patrol. He's going to patrol to make sure you got the VIP pass on. You have 10 seconds to comply. If you don't, you're getting smoked.
1, 2,
10.
Yeah, just like what? Home Alone. When he's watching that movie.
Yeah. I'll give you to the count of 3 to get your low life.
I really am praying that in 2030 it's not back in Chicago, because we got Chicago next year. Then we got the mile. Thank God for the mile. Then we got Chicago again.
Mm-hmm.
For fuck's sake, please, not Chicago again. Please, 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 please. The Chicago fatigue is real, man.
If they do it there, then they need to find a different place to do it. If what you were saying is true, which, again, I can't completely argue with you.
Do it at Dallas at Jerry World.
Yeah.
They could. They could.
I'm open to anywhere except for Chicago. I just want to go to a new place, new layout, just new experiences.
Well, do you think at some point KC gets into play with the stadium they're building?
It is. Chicago's confirmed for 2029. It's on their website. They must have voted for it last year, Stu. Because I was surprised about that too. I thought they were going to vote on 2029 this year, but then I checked it on the website and I'm like, oh, when did this happen? They're back in Chicago again. Fuck me. Seriously?
Well, they need to start doing more research and figure it out. Like, we all understand the reason why it's been at that convention center is because of the closeness to
Proximity of everything.
multiple hotels.
And it's like its own little town right there. Food, fucking parking, hotels.
But it's
It's nice. It's not bad. I'm not saying like, oh, it's like a horrible place. It's nice. It's cool. But I think it's with the way the National is now, it's not fulfilling all the needs of everyone that goes there.
Well, and if you've gone multiple times, you're tired of seeing Chicago.
That too.
I mean,
and I'm tired of O'Hara International Airport too. Fuck, man, that place. Woo.
That's why I'm glad I flew into.
Fuck, man, I'm tired of that airport.
Into fucking Detroit. I didn't have to fly into Chicago.
Only time that's ever been said anyway.
Right.
I'm so glad I flew into Detroit.
DTW. It's smaller airport.
I think Detroit's going to be amazing, just because that convention center is so big. So I would imagine a trade night is going to have its own hall. Like they'll put a trade night in one of the halls because that's where it should be. Because now with the limited space in Chicago, it's in a ballroom and it can't accommodate everyone. So it's like petite. Like Jeremy went to the trade night on Thursday. He said it was a quote unquote effing disaster. He said it was really bad. He had to wait in line to get in for, I think, like an hour and a half. And then when he got in, he said the room was like, felt like it was hot as shit. It smelled like a gym, sweaty ball sweat.
I was gonna say swag.
So he's like, screw this. I'm just gonna go. I'll just come back tomorrow and set up during the day. Have my shit out there. What's the point? But realistically, the trade night, that's one of the big draws for the National. There's people that go to the National just for those trade nights. Like that is one of the big appeal of the National for a large majority of people that attend the show. So an event like that should be respected, especially since you can't do it at the hotels anymore because you got everything on lockdown. So put it in a convention hall. Put it in a big space, but they don't have the space, and that's in that convention center.
How many fucking people you can't fit even like in the Lowe's or whatever. The way that trade nights are now, you would have people pretty much looking like a line outside to get into the National. To be spilling out that much because you have so many fucking people that have their little Halliburton Juniors and their fucking Otani PSA 8 like tops update SP rookie or whatever the fuck. It's like
So
you'd almost have to build like a fucking specific facility. And again, you think with all the Fanatics money, you could dump something in there and work with local leaders because again, you would push it out further from Rosemont, push it towards like Rockford or Aurora out west more, and instead of a data center going up, put up a fucking collector center. You can have all the food around there, big chicken. You could again, you control everything, but I mean they already control everything, so
right.
What would be the difference?
Got
have
the
specifications, and then you could have you could move the spring and the fall spectaculars to that, and I don't know.
so I can't give you a definitive answer on your Dallas Card Show thing, but Dallas Card Show is kind of different in a way. And the reason why I will say it that way, granted, I've never walked the show. I've literally walked into the lobby to find Ryan to then go to dinner. There is a ton of shit more so in the vicinity of the Dallas Card Show than there is at Rosemont. For anybody who has not gone to the Dallas Card Show, it is extremely close to a major highway, and there is literally almost every kind of restaurant you can fucking think of.
But isn't Dallas like, I don't know Texas well, but isn't Dallas like pretty much near two other major cities? So it's like 3 cities in one. Like you got Dallas, Fort Worth, and then isn't it Arlington? They're like,
okay, so what's the easiest way to explain this? Everybody, so if you live in North Texas, when somebody asks you where do you live and you say Texas and they say where, you say Dallas, that's because most people know Dallas. So technically the Dallas Card Show is in Allen. Okay, so it's not technically even really near Dallas.
So that's like the Philly show.
So
the Philly show's the same way.
But so it's Allen McKinney. That's where the Dallas Card Show is. And Allen is smaller comparative. Think of it as more of a. See, when I think of things like I would consider it's a suburb of. I'll go it to the county level because like our counties even here are like significantly large. But Dallas is further south of where the Dallas Card Show is, which is really interesting that it actually resides where it does, because it's kind of a small hotel, considering. When you think, for anybody who's been to the National and gone to, the convention center, you kind of go in there like, okay, this place is fucking huge. It's not the case because the Dallas Card Show is housed at a hotel. There's the convention part of the hotel, but to me, it's small.
I'd be so down for a Texas National. That'd be freaking awesome.
Well, I mean, Michael's talked about, he's wanting to come do a Dallas Card Show, and I'm like, hey, let me know. That's the thing. Like, I want to go, but I want to go by myself. To me, the whole point of going to a card show is to walk the floor with somebody that you know, have good conversations, hang out, look at shit, talk shit about dumbass people and their high prices or whatever, and then go out to eat. Have a cocktail or two.
Texas barbecue. That's good eating.
Well,
Go to that
Mexican
barbecue place. I don't know where it's at, but that's where I want to go.
Mexican food is good here too, but again, it's.
Then we could also, a Texas National too. You could broker a peace treaty too, Dave, on the ranch. That'd be a historic hobby event. We could broker a peace treaty.
Well, so if they ever did the National here, it would have to be. I don't even know where they could put it at.
Like Jerry World, like I said, that's about to.
Yeah, but again, like.
I don't think that'd be big enough. You wouldn't have enough space. There'd be a lot of space, probably on the floor, but there's not enough space. That doesn't.
No, because
to like the Rosemont.
No, because there would have to be vendors on the field,
and then like
the concourse, the standing room only area. But
Jerry won't be down with that.
But that's not enough space for that many tables.
No.
So
you'd have to build something. You'd have to actually fucking.
We have some decent sized convention centers here, but even then, I don't know where one would be big enough and in the vicinity of enough hotels.
I think it's definitely going to go to Atlanta in the coming years. I think 2030 it might be Atlanta. That's my gut feeling.
I know Lou had said something about Orlando too down there. Maybe they could have it at Epcot Center or something.
But that would all be outside.
That's all right.
No. Not in Orlando, it's not.
Why?
Because of the rain.
I think the heat and humidity and seeing all these people sweating it would be like a slick on the ground where you'd be slipping around like a fucking ice arena.
The human stink line?
Literally. You'd be leaving a human stink line.
Yeah, I don't think you could do outside in Florida.
Oh, come on now. It'd be fun.
I would never go to a card show that was outdoors.
Right.
No way in hell.
The only way that things could improve, so to speak, is they limit the number of attendees.
And you won't do that?
That's never going to
Correct.
happen.
Because the money, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's the only way that anything truly would work. Is if you limit the number of people. That's it.
They're going to I'm telling you, they're going to raise the prices. I will be shocked if they do not raise the prices.
Mm-hmm.
Did we ever get an attendance number or anything on if it broke any records?
Somebody said that, I don't remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure, was it?
Somebody mentioned it whenever they were voting on the 29 date that they mentioned this was the most attended one.
Yeah, it did break the record.
Broke the record?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's one prediction I got right, thankfully. I wasn't looking good there on some of the. There was not a lot of Knicks gear. I was dead wrong about that.
I was correct. I was correct on there being the stuff that I like to collect being there more than ever.
Yep.
Whether it was priced correctly, that was another story. But the old game used football stuff.
Yeah, there was a table over by RBI Crew 7 and Omaha Sports Cards and Indy Card Exchange. They were from Wisconsin. I don't remember what their name was. They had all Packer stuff.
Was it Wild Goose Chase?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah. He works in partnership with Grant Waldorf Stories.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought a lot of Packer stuff from them.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is like a whole Packer section.
They bought out one of the biggest collections ever that ended up becoming 2 collections that they purchased, and it was all the Packer Grails that nobody had ever seen before were in these 2 collections, and they've just slowly been spreading them out.
Yeah, they had a shit ton of Brett Favre.
Yep.
A lot. And Mr. Rogers.
It's funny, nobody sent me any pictures of Rogers stuff, but I got a lot of Favre stuff. And I'm sure you saw the one that Brad got for me.
Yes.
I can't wait to get that card. It's supposed to be here Friday. And then I got another one that'll be here next week from that same table.
That's one thing I appreciate about the National. Football might not be setting the hobby on fire, but the National always has very strong football dealers there that have some really nice cards that you don't see often.
What about hockey? Was there a big hockey presence there at all?
Not really, no.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a handful of dealers that had hockey, but if it wasn't Wayne Gretzky or Connor McDavid, there was jack shit.
No kidding. I remember when the first 2 that I went to in 13 and 15, there were a couple guys there that was set up with all the Crosbys and all the Ovechkin, all the Shield autos, all that stuff. And it was the prices on the stuff at that time. It was mainly look at what I own. You're not going to buy it. It's museum type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People weren't going to pay the prices. But then towards the then 17 and 19, I don't remember seeing hardly any hockey there.
I'll say there was. Yeah, I feel confident saying this. There was more WNBA than hockey.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, CC and Sophie.
Yep.
A lot of that, they were around quite a bit. I'm trying to think. Was there more soccer or more hockey?
I got him in soccer.
I think soccer. There was probably more soccer.
Mm-hmm.
There was F1. There was a good amount of Formula One race, NASCAR racing. There was more hockey than those two, though. But there was a couple specific dealers that had F1 and racing.
How many softball cards were there?
I didn't see any of that. There's softball.
Oh, I get there had to be a Jenny Finch autograph.
There were some pickleball cards there. Pickleball, tennis, yeah, golf.
Tennis was trying to get into the hobby, and I don't know if it really did a whole lot.
Yeah, they had what Topps Chrome, I think, that time.
They had Topps Chrome, and then they had a really fancy set that was expensive that had Alcaraz autographs in it that were several $1,000s.
Oh, also, I was going to have one of this in my predictions, but I didn't want to. There's always that one dealer every year that has a bunch of cards of the Mustache Man. If you know my meaning. World War II.
Oh,
Germany.
Adolf.
Oh, yeah.
The Mustache. Yeah. There's always that one fucking dealer that has a bunch of that stuff out. I'm like, oh, man, who's buying this? Who the fuck is buying this?
We've talked about, I think, that before, like, when Leaf put out, and I want to say it was like, and again, Michael and I know talked about, like, the Axis of Evil or whatever it was.
I remember that stuff.
That shit, that stuff, to me, is, like, insanely interesting. Because, like, I love learning about World War II. That's, like, if I didn't do cards, that would be it. And then I could probably do some comedy reels somewhere. But when you see like that, or, again, The Killer, John Wayne Gacy, Ed Gein, Dom, all that stuff, it's super, super interesting. The fact of, like, how do you go down that path? What has led you from A to B to now what do you see? So
there was also a dealer there that had he had two cards that Ricky Russo owned. He had the George H.W. Bush, the first George Bush, and then the Saddam Hussein dual autograph, where it was like on the one side it's President Bush and then the other side Saddam.
Yeah.
If you remember that card. And then he also had Russo's Elvis auto. I was like, shit, this guy got 2 Ricky Russo cards in his showcase.
And 2 big money for cards.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Also saw a decent amount. This is messed up. I also saw 5 separate dealers have the PSA, either a 9 or 10 of the Bin Laden card.
Oh shit!
The PSA 10 they wanted, I think, $1,500 for. That's from the Topps 2001 set. I forget what the exact designation is.
I had heard there was a lot of non-sports there.
Yeah, there's a decent amount. The non-sports is being pumped like you wouldn't believe.
Is it?
I mean, because I've been collecting that. I've been collecting non-sports for a really long time. And that part of the hobby is like kind of like the Wild West right now. You got to just be really careful with what you're buying and just don't fall into like a lot of the traps that I see being sprung on people. Because, like, for instance, like I always tell people, non-sports for decades, the collectors who collect non-sports don't never embrace card grading. So they would never get their cards graded, the overwhelming majority of the people collecting those cards. And it's only a recent phenomenon of people getting non-sports cards graded. So as you can imagine, a lot of these cards don't have big pop reports because for decades and decades they weren't graded. Now all of a sudden people are getting a lot of these like tougher type of cards, the tobacco cards, the Ogdens, the Allen and Ginter, stuff like that. They're getting them graded, but they're saying, hey, this is ultra rare. It has a low pop. Well, yeah, it has a low pop because like for decades those cards were not graded. They weren't graded to the same extent that sports cards were graded. So we don't really know what the true rarity of the card is.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that a lot on the Civil War stuff because they made a lot of non-sports Civil War cards back in the day of like the various Union generals, Confederate generals, even with the presidential stuff, like with Lincoln, John Adams, all the presidents, George Washington. So just if you're dabbling in that area, just be careful and try to get it raw.
Crypto Grifter giving Civil War collecting advice. That wasn't on my
bingo card.
Bingo card. So
well, I've been like I don't know. I think you guys know. Like I like buying General Sherman cards, and his stuff just like fucking the last 3 years has disappeared.
Well, it's in your collection.
You buy it all?
Yeah, a lot of the cards. Like I used to be able to find his stuff raw pretty easily, but now I'm finding less and less raw cards of him. And what I'm finding now is stuff in the new PSA Lighthouse holders, and I'm like, oh, well, that was like a $30 card. Now it's like you put 2 more zeros on the end there. What the fuck happened now? And then of course you look at the listing. The listing says low pop. It's just like fuck me, man. All right, I'll wait you all out. It's fine.
Yeah, everything's low pop when it first starts.
I'll wait you all out. Although I did make a mistake on one of those cards. That one of the guys, this is like 3 years ago at the Philly show, I found a really cool Great Generals, which is one of my favorite, probably my favorite Sherman card. And it was raw. But the whole back was missing. It was obviously glued into an album. So when they probably took it out, the whole back ripped off. So like normally I don't have a problem with that if the front is presentable, and the front was really presentable, but like half the card's missing. The back of the card is all gone. And this guy would not budge a cent off his sticker price. He's like, go find another one. Go find another one. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, I will find another one. It might take 5 years. It might take 6 years. It might take a while, but I'll find another one. And the interaction just irritated me, so I didn't buy the card. 5 minutes later, Andrew Nuff Said Cards bought it. Yeah, so I was just like, shit. I remember I asked him, like, he goes to the Philly show, so I asked him, I'm like, do you still have that Sherman that you bought like 3 years ago? He's like, I got rid of that a while ago. He's like, I got that. That's long gone. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, don't worry, I will eventually get one.
Dave, I think it's time to wrap us up. We all, well, I don't have to go to bed. Again, unemployed here.
Yeah, I should already be in bed.
Normally I would already be in bed, but now I eventually, like, I still have to take my dog out. Had to go take the neighbor's dogs out. Now I have to take this guy out.
My pup has slept through this whole 3-hour podcast.
Damn. I must
Yeah,
have, to that dog, I must sound like TBP.
So, thank you all for watching. Thanks for Ed for finally jumping on here, making time in his busy grifting schedule to, again, because he had sort of forewarned the masses during a couple of your videos, like, hey, I'll have a couple more thoughts during some upcoming content, usually on the IRP, which always
I mentioned y'all. I mentioned y'all.
We love getting you on here, because you're a little more boisterous and you use a little more colorful language than you do in your videos. Because this is a platform that will allow it, and you're not shunned. But then you're on this platform, so 6 of one, half dozen of another. So thank you for coming on. Brad couldn't come on, I guess. I sent him the link. He must have been rubbing his PMG Taylor and
Right?
the trade all over. Oh, Dolphin. Yeah, Dolphin. So
Dave has a green.
Yo, by the way, one last thing. Shout out to everyone in our Airbnb, because on whatever day it was, most of them all, I put the Fever game on when they were playing the Storm, and the Fever when they were playing Portland Fire, and all the guys were pretty much like following along with the game too. So that was pretty cool.
That's when you should have got some video. Like, did you ever think this would happen?
Yeah, they were talking shit. They were talking shit. Especially when there was some really bad missed layups and some of the
going up to the layup. Layup drill. So we look forward to more content from Mr. Crypto Grifter in the future from Nationals. 2 years from now, maybe he'll take us up on the offer, and there won't be an Airbnb rate, and we'll just be stacked on top of each other, sleeping like cordwood. The CM Punk. I know it's more of a Chicago thing than a CM Punk, but CM Punk.
Hopefully nobody knocks on the door at midnight, though. Housekeeping.
So, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for chatting along. Again, Rick, good to see you're in there at the end. You want to come on here once in a while. That's about on your phone. Rick. You want to come on here sometime?
Rick.
I know that might like literally blackball you from the vintage community, but you can have fun like you don't have in the vintage community. Remember.
Hey, John. We know you're not here anymore.
Yeah, man, Genie.
Just saying. We could have some interesting conversations.
Again, it'd rankle a lot of feathers, and I know you guys aren't opposed to that. So,
yeah, they're not as controversial as we are.
I think we could get it out of them
in time, I'm sure.
I want to say at least maybe we can confirm IRP with Get Off My Lawn live on the mile 2028.
That could be a possibility.
That would be amazing.
Well,
that could be a possibility.
Live on the mile.
You start hearing bullets and gunshots.
Presumably from a church's chicken.
I hope it's from a church's chicken. I hope it's not from church. Start walking past one of those and get blazed out by Pastor Fidel. Be like, well, I gave you a 20% off PSA grading coupon in this offering. What the fuck?
Always good to see you, Rick. Always good to see you.
We were PG tonight, Low.
If that's PG, then they need to revamp their rating system because there was a lot of fucks, and I think that would have qualified as definitely rated R.
Yeah.
Just saying. I think Ed alone dropped more fucks than
I definitely did.
Ed in rare form this evening. Where else can you get that from? You can't. Only here. All right, I'm going to shut up now.
Yep.
So, for Ed, Michael, Steve, and Dave in the IRP, remember, collecting cards, it's a wonderful hobby. The friendships you forge along the way, and the good deals on pins, and the grifting and Babylon, that's what really matters. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night, everybody.
Good night.